evening, my angel, my beautiful angel. Are you feeling sleepy? Oh, we can change that, definitely. Let's get you ready for bed, my love. You deserve some good rest to relax and restore your body, ready for another adventure tomorrow. First things first, I've warmed up the twin or sister pair of pyjamas for you, for yours truly. 1 second. They're nice and warm, so cozy, 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 cozy. And that's for you to put on right now, if you're comfortable doing so. They're so warm, aren't they? So lovely and soft. We're gonna look so cute matching. Yes, my love, I'll be waiting right here. I'll stick the kettle on. Welcome back, my darling. As promised, this is a cup of hot water. Now you can have it like this if you'd like it. It's very, very, very hot. But I did bring up a tea bag for you, and this specifically for the night time, for the evening. Nothing is sweeter than a good night's rest. I'll leave that to soak for just a second. So how's your week been, my love? Could it have gone a bit better for you? I understand. But I hope life is still treating you well. I hope you're surrounded by people that you love, and you're taking plenty of time for yourself, because you are very, 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 very important. Yes, you. Otherwise I would not be making this fuss. You know, in all the time I've been alive, I've never met somebody who wasn't important before. Got a little so I can scoop out the tea bag. Don't like it too strong. Don't like it brewing for a while, do we? And that's for you. You're so welcome. Oh, there's nothing. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it soothes you. And I hope it relaxes you. And keeps you going whilst we get you ready for bed. Now, my darling, to set the tone, in here I have a lavender spray, because we want this to be an immersive experience. We want to get all of your senses involved, all of your senses to be on the same page, to relax, to de-stress, to forget about life for a while, until tomorrow. Do you mind if I spray this? Are you a bit sensitive? Or perfect, you love lavender. It's all worked out, mind your eyes. Just in the ad. Can you smell that? Waft it to you. It's very soothing, isn't it? Extremely, extremely soothing. I feel like we're going to need a sleepover after this, because I'll be half asleep myself. Perfect. And then just slide your necklace round. signature jewellery is gorgeous, cannot be messed with. I just would like you to be more comfortable so you can just slip off with ease into a deep, 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 deep sleep. Very relaxing. I hope you're feeling more relaxed. The smell definitely helps. Are you feeling cozy still? Can I get you anything? Or you just spilled a bit of your tea there. Don't be daft. You're not clumsy, you're lovely. Everybody has little happy accidents sometimes. I'm glad you're enjoying your tea. I've got this really soft cotton pad and some toner. A cleanser, if you will, just to remove all the dirt and debris and pollution and all the unwanted things from your face that's accumulated in the day. Is that okay? You'll be quite surprised what is left on this cotton pad after a busy day, trust me. So gentle. Under your eyes. You got a little sleepy dust already. Your other one there. Your face. I could look at it all day. You're so beautiful and unique looking. You look so original and eye-catching. I'm lucky I get to look at it for the next bit of time. What are you doing with your weekend? Are you relaxing? Relax. Or are you busy? I hope a bit of both. That's the perfect days off, isn't it? But you deserve some good, fun, well-rested days off, my love. You deserve good. You deserve love and life and happiness. And you know, I said that you might be surprised and shocked. I know, we've just removed all that gross stuff from your face, so this is firmly going in the bin. Don't you worry about that. You're nice and clean and beautiful again. Not that you were never beautiful, but you're lovely and clean and getting ready for bed and rest. It's beautiful. Finish you off. I love sorryyyy, I swear, by sorryyyy. Sorryyyy. And then when Michael Sarah did the advert, that was just chef's kiss, wasn't it? still feel nice and soothing and nourishing. Melting into your beautiful clear skin. It's really absorbing so fast. I think it needed it. So it's good. It's definitely good, 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 good. You wake up with the clearest skin tomorrow after all of this work. You're so gorgeous. And your eyes are getting heavier and heavier. Heavier. Feeling more and more sleepy, 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 sleepy. It's getting late, my love. We're nearly there. You're so close to being able to drift away. Or you can if you like. I'll still be here. I'll still be pampering you. I've got you. And I've got Bird's bees. And you best believe I love a Bird's bee. And this one, I think I managed to pick up Ultra Conditioning. This one's a soft one. I don't know if I'll be able to open it where my hands are slow, moisturised and slippery. 1 second. Okay, I managed. Do you mind that this was also on my lips? Oh, that's good. Like butter, isn't it? Just glides. Really get a nice thick layer. You wake up and your lips feel like they've shed about 5 layers of skin, honestly. Try and make sure you keep it on overnight, but I can always reapply it, so do not stress. I can't wait to put this on my lips later. I wish I could wink. Now the next thing on the schedule was actually this pill, if you'd like it. It's a multivitamin tablet, so all the good things that in case your diet today, your food intake didn't hit all your criteria, then, but it's optional, of course. You don't have to take it. Some people think that they don't do anything. Some people get it all from their diet. So do you want it? Okay, I've also got a glass of water. Or are you happy to have it in your tea? In your tea, with your tea? Brilliant, no problem. And there's your tablet. Open wide. There you go. Perfect. You swallowed that so quickly, quickly, quickly. I take ages with those big pills. Bravo. May I brush your hair? You've got lovely, lovely hair. I can't wait to touch it. Let me get my brush. And you just have a brilliant team. It's awesome. You're awesome. I love touching you and treating you well and pampering you. I feel like you don't do it to yourself enough. You deserve to be treated nicely. Maybe you deserve to be looked after and nourished. And your cup deserves to be full. You deserve to fill it. It's so soft. To be fair, you do look after yourself, don't you? It's very tangle free. It smells amazing. How often do you wash it? Really, is that all? Well, you've definitely got better behaving hair than me. You're beautiful. Stunning. I'm so proud of you. Even just taking this time now just to unwind, relax, to settle into the evening, to forget about life for a while. You really are a credit to yourself, a credit to everyone you know. You're so inspiring. I'm proud of you, proud to know you. Do you mind if I oil your hair? I'm sure you've seen all along the internet recently about rosemary oil and how good and beneficial it can be for your hair. You don't have to touch it now. It will be a bit greasy, but it will just be contained in your scalp. So it's up to you. Have a shower tomorrow morning, wash it out, and hopefully you will have a lovely, soft, smooth, silky hair. Yeah, you're willing to give it a go. Perfect. You finished your tea. There's no worries, I can take it, I can hold it back, yeah, that's fine. Oh, I'm so glad you liked that one. It's a nice one, isn't it? You'll feel like you'll need a wee very soon. I know how handy this is. These nozzles. So this is just pure rosemary oil in there. And basically now we've brushed out your hair, it's just going to it feels nice, doesn't it? And just go all along your scalp, making sure we hit. If I've missed any spots at all, then let me know. Definitely the crown of your head. How does that feel? Would you like a little head massage? Yes, I think it will help the oil into your roots as well as feel absolutely lovely, hopefully. Yeah. greasy. I bet. You're looking a little greasy, but you're looking like you're glowing. You're so hydrated and glistening and smooth like Edward Cullen in the sun, baby. You are dazzling, you are plump, you are moist and gorgeous. And hopefully dozy, 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 do. You there. You're so cute. I think next, if you'll allow it before you get too sleepy, 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 sleepy Susan there, then maybe we can brush your teeth. Clean those pearly, pearly, pearly whites of yours. Because once you're in bed, you will not want to leave to then brush your teeth. My angel, shall we do it? I know it's my least favourite part to do, but needs must. You only get one set in your lifetime. And we're looking after you. So let me look after you. Okay. Got your toothpaste here. And open wide. The 2-minute vibrate, 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 vibrate. I'll get you a cup to spit in. Nice and fresh, right? Do you feel good? I don't know what it is about my teeth. I hate doing it, but I always feel so good after I do it. Don't you agree? I'm so pleased. And I thought I'd just read a little chapter to you this bedtime. And for those that know, if not, then there's like 6, 7, 8 books, I can't even remember, in this series, so if you like the sound of it, you definitely heard of it. I read it, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I read it a while ago, so forgive me. Chapter 1. The forest had become a labyrinth of snow and ice. I'd been monitoring the parameters of the thicket for an hour, and my vantage point in the crook of a tree branch had turned useless. The gusting wind blew thick flurries to They would remain until the bark ran out, then travel north past the wolf's territory and perhaps into the fairy lands of Prythian, where no mortals would dare go, not unless they had a death wish. A shudder skidded down my spine at the thought, and I shoved it away, focusing on my surroundings, on the task ahead. That was all I could do, all I'd been able to do for years. Focus on surviving the week, the day, the hour ahead. And now, with the snow, I'd be lucky to spot anything, especially from my position up in the tree, scarcely able to see 15 feet ahead. Stifling a groan as my stiff limbs protested at the movement, I unstrung my bow before easing off the tree. The icy snow crunched under my fraying boots and I ground my teeth. Low visibility, unnecessary noise. I was well on my way to yet another fruitless hunt. Only a few hours of daylight remained. If I didn't leave soon, I'd have to navigate my way home in the dark, and the warnings of the town hunters still rang fresh in my mind. Giant wolves were on the prowl, and in numbers, not to mention whispers of strange folk spotted in the area, tall and eerie and deadly. Anything but fairies, the hunters had beseeched our long-forgotten gods, and I had secretly prayed alongside them. In the 8 years we'd been living in our village, 2 days' journey from the immortal border of Prythian, we'd been spared an attack, though travelling peddlers sometimes brought stories of distant bordered towns left in splinters and bones and ashes. These accounts, once rare enough to be dismissed by the village elders as hearsay, had in recent months become commonplace whisperings on every market day. I had risked much in coming so far into the forest, but we'd finished our last loaf of bread yesterday and the remainder of our dried meat the day before. Still, I would rather have spent another night with a hungry belly than found myself satisfying the appetite of a wolf or a fairy. Not that there was much of me to feast on. I'd turned gangly by this time of the year and could count a good number of my ribs. Moving as nimbly and as quickly as I could between the trees, I pushed a hand against my hollow and aching stomach. I knew the expression that would be on my 2 elder sisters' faces when I returned to our cottage empty-handed yet again. After a few minutes of careful searching, I crouched in a cluster of snowy heavy brambles. Through the thorns, I had a half-decent view of a clearing and a small brook flowing through it. A few holes in the ice suggested it was still frequently used. Hopefully something would come by. I sighed through my nose, digging the tip of my bow into the ground and leaned my forehead against the crude curve of the wood. We wouldn't last another week without food, and too many families had already started begging for me to hope for handouts from the wealthier townsfolk. I'd witnessed firsthand exactly how far their charity went. I eased into a more comfortable position and calmed my breathing, straining to listen to the forest over the wind. The snow fell and fell, dancing and curling like sparkling spindrifts, the white fresh and clean against the brown and grey of the world. And despite myself, despite my numb limbs, and I quieted that relentless, vicious part of my mind to take in the snow-veiled woods. Once it had been second nature to savour the contrast of the new grass against dark, tilled soil, or an amethyst brooch nestled in folds of emerald silk. Once I dreamed and breathed, and I thought in colour and light and shape. Sometimes I would even indulge in envisioning a day when my sisters were married, and it was only me and my father, with enough food to go around, enough money to buy some paint, and enough time to put these colours and shapes down on paper, or canvas, or the cottage walls. Not likely to happen perhaps ever, so I was left with moments like this, admiring the glint of pale winter-heightened snow. I couldn't remember the last time I'd done it, bothered to notice anything lovely or interesting. Stolen hours in a decrepit barn with Isaac Hale didn't count. Those times were hungry and empty and sometimes cruel, but never lovely. The howling wind calmed into a soft sighing. The snow fell lazily now, in big fat clumps that gathered along every nook and bump of the trees. Mesmerising, the lethal gentle beauty of snow. I'd soon have to return to the muddy frozen roads of the village, to the cramped heat of our cottage. Some small fragmented part of me recoiled at the thought. Bushes rustled across the clearing. Drawing my bow as a matter of instinct, I peered through the thorns and my breath caught. Less than 30 paces away stood a small doe, not yet too scrawny from winter, but desperate enough to wrench bark from a tree in the clearing. A deer like that could feed my family for a week or more. My mouth watered, quiet as the wind hissing through dead leaves. I took aim. She continued tearing off strips of bark, chewing slowly, utterly unaware that her death waited yards away. I could dry half the meat, and we could immediately eat the rest. Stews, pies, her skin could be sold or perhaps turned into clothing for one of us. I needed new boots, but Elaine needed a new cloak, and Nestor was prone to crave anything someone else possessed. My fingers trembled. So much food, such salvation. I took a steadying breath, double-checking my aim, but there were a pair of golden eyes shining from the brush adjacent to mine. The forest went silent. The wind died. Even the snow paused. We mortals no longer kept gods to worship, but if I had known their lost names, I would have prayed to them, all of them. Concealed in the thicket, the wolf inched closer, its gaze set on the oblivious doe. He was enormous, the size of a pony, and though I'd been warned about their presence, my mouth turned bone dry. But worse than his size was his unnatural stealth. Even as he inched closer in the brush, he remained unheard, unspotted by the doe. No animal that massive could be so quiet. But if he was no ordinary animal, if he was of Prythian origin, if he was somehow a fairy, then being eaten was the least of my concerns. If he was a fairy, I should already be running. Yet maybe it would be a favour to the world, to my village, to myself, to kill him while I remained undetected. Putting an arrow through his eye would be no burden. But despite his size, he looked like a wolf, moved like a wolf. Animal, I reassured myself. Just an animal. I didn't let myself consider the alternative, not when I needed my head clear, my breathing steady. I had a hunting knife and 3 arrows. The first 2 were ordinary arrows, simple and efficient, and likely no more than bee stings to a wolf that size. But the 3rd arrow, the longest and the heaviest one, I'd bought from a travelling peddler during the summer when we'd had enough coppers for extra luxuries. An arrow carved from mountain ash, armed with an iron head. From songs sung to us as lullabies over our cradles, we knew from infancy that fairies hated iron. But it was the ashwood that made their immortal, healing magic falter long enough for a human to make a killing blow. Also legend and rumour claimed. The only proof we had of the ash's effectiveness was its sheer rarity. I'd seen drawings of the trees, but never one with my own eyes. Not after the High Fae had burned them all long ago. So few remained, most of them small and sickly and hidden by the nobility within high-walled groves. I spent weeks after my purchase debating that overpriced bit of wood had been a waste of money, or a fake, and for 3 years the ash arrow had sat unused in my quiver. Now I drew it, keeping my movements minimal, efficient, anything to avoid that monstrous wolf looking in my direction. The arrow was long enough and heavy enough to inflict damage, possibly kill him if I aimed right. My chest became so tight it ached, and in that moment I realised my life boiled down to one question. Was the wolf alone? I gripped my bow and drew the string further back. It was a decent shot, but I'd never faced a wolf. I'd thought it made me lucky, even blessed, but now I didn't know where to hit or how fast they moved. I couldn't afford to miss, not when I only had one ash arrow. And if it was indeed a fairy's heart pounding under that fur, then good riddance. Good riddance after all their kind had done to us. I wouldn't risk this one later creeping into our village to slaughter and maim and torment. Let him lie here and now. I'd be glad to end him. The wolf crept closer, and a twig snapped beneath one of his paws, each bigger than my hand. The doe went rigid. She glanced to either side, ears straining towards the grey sky. With the wolf's downwind position, she couldn't see or smell him. His head lowered and his massive silver body, so perfectly blended into the snow and the shadows, sank onto its haunches. The doe was still staring in the wrong direction. I glanced from the doe to the wolf and back again. At least he was alone, at least I'd been spared that much. But if the wolf scared the doe off, I was left with nothing but a starving, oversized wolf, possibly a fairy, looking for the next best meal. And if he killed her, destroying precious amounts of hide and fat. If I judged wrongly, my life wasn't the only one that would be lost, but my life had been reduced to nothing but risks these past 8 years that I'd been hunting in these woods, and I'd picked correctly most of the time. Most of the time, the wolf shot from the brush in a flash of grey and white and black, his yellow fangs gleaming. He was even more gargantuan in the open, a marvel of muscle and speed and brute strength. The doe didn't stand a chance. I fired the ash arrow before he destroyed much else of her. The arrow found its mark in his side, and I could have sworn the ground itself shuddered. He barked in pain, releasing the doe's neck as his blood sprayed on the snow, so ruby bright. He whirled towards me, those yellow eyes wide, hackles raised. His low growl reverberated in the empty pit of my stomach as I surged to my feet, snow churning around me. Another arrow drawn. But the wolf merely looked at me, his maw stained with blood, my ash arrow protruding so vulgarly from his side. The snow began falling again. He looked. And with that sort of awareness and surprise that made me fire the second arrow. Just in case that intelligence was of the immortal, wicked sort. He didn't try to dodge the arrows that went clean through his wide yellow eye. He collapsed to the ground. Colour and darkness whirled, eddying my vision, mixing with the snow. His legs were twitching as a low whine sliced through the wind. Impossible. He should be dead, not dying. The arrow was through his eye, almost to the goose fletching. But wolf or fairy, it didn't matter. Not with that ash arrow buried in his side. He'd be dead soon enough. Still, my hands shook as I brushed off snow and edged closer, still keeping a good distance. Blood gushed from the wounds I'd given him, staining the snow crimson. He pawed at the ground, his breathing already slowing. Was he in much pain, or was his whimper his attempt to shove death away? I wasn't sure I wanted to know. The snow swirled around us. I stared at him until that coat of charcoal and obsidian and ivory ceased rising and falling. Wolf. Definitely just a wolf, despite his size. The tightness in my chest eased and I loosed a sigh, my breath clouding in front of me. At least the ash arrow had proved itself to be lethal, regardless of who or what it took down. A rapid examination of the doe told me I could carry only one animal, and even that would be a struggle. But it was a shame to leave the wolf. Though it wasted precious minutes during which any predator could smell the fresh blood, I skinned him and cleaned my arrows as best as I could. If anything, it warmed my hands. I wrapped the bloody bloody side of his pelt around the toe's death wound before I hoisted her across my shoulders. It was several miles back to our cottage, and I didn't need a trail of blood leading every animal with fangs and claws straight to me. Grunting against the weight, I grasped the legs of the deer and spared a final glance at the steaming carcass of the wolf. His remaining golden eye now stared at the snow-heavy sky, and for a moment I wished I had it in me to feel remorse for the dead thing. But this was the forest, and it was winter. And that, everybody, is the first chapter of the first book in the series of aaaaah. I hope you liked it. If you're snoozing, then that's totally fine. But if you're a little curious, you should read it, because oh my goodness, you do not know what is coming. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave you to curl up, snuggle down, hunker in, and get cozy, get comfortable, get relaxing when you're nice and clean and beautiful and fresh. You're going to wake up feeling so good tomorrow. I've got one last little gift for you, okay? An eye mask for you. It's all nice and clean. There you go. You're welcome. You're so welcome. I know what it's like when it's sunny in the morning and it wakes you up and you just need to sleep. So I've got you. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful